Greetings and welcome to my new calculus channel. My name is John Gabriel. So today I'm going to be interviewed by a person who's known me since I was 16 years old. That's many, many decades. And she'll be asking me some questions, which I'll attempt to answer as clearly and as quickly as I can. So let's begin.
John, I understand your anger toward most mainstream math academics. Aren't you concerned, though, that those who happen to log onto your channel to learn from you will think that your anger is sometimes directed at them?
Well, anything's possible. And I'm sure that some do think that way. And some have called me a bitter old man and leveled all sorts of accusations towards me. But the truth is that it wasn't always this way. For example, in 2005, when I first started on sci.math, and I began to post comments, they decided they wanted to kill me. So they had this thread where they would offer money for somebody to knock me off. That's how upset they were with me. And the reason for that is they were furious and angry at me for thinking that I knew better than they did. Okay, so in this post, you'll find high-profile academics such as Gilbert Strang from MIT, who goes by the name of Port563. He's no longer on sci.math. I wrote to his boss and got kicked off. Or somebody called YBM from France, Jean Pierre Messager, who said things like, your life is not worth 2 cents, and many others. I'm not going to spend time on their drivel because it's not important. But these people have not only affected me mentally and emotionally. I mean, it's hard not to be affected and to be traumatized by the kind of libel, lies, absolute rot that they write about me on the internet on many sites. Quora, Wikipedia, Reddit, Math Stack Exchange. It just goes on and on and on. And I've been banned from all of them. And the reason I've been banned is not due to the fact that I've used foul language, but due to the fact that they don't like what I have to say. And so, yes, it's very frustrating for me when these people are allowed to libel me or allowed to use foul language, and I have to respond civilly. What this means in a nutshell is that one reaches a point where the gloves come off and one stops caring. So the way I think about it in conclusion is that those who watch my channel, if they're secure individuals and they have a reasonable amount of intelligence, they're going to realize that I'm not directing my anger at them, but rather at those mainstream academics who have actually harmed me, both mentally and physically. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thanks for that comprehensive answer, John. But what I'd like to know is what about parents who don't want their children, or I should say teenagers who happen to be students of math, following examples of anger, foul language, and insults?
Okay, so look, can you really stop? Can you really stop? Can you really have a world where you put your child in a cocoon and eventually people are going to come? Look at Donald Trump, for example. I mean, not that I want to be like Donald Trump, but Donald Trump, yes, uses foul language, uses all those accusations and libel, but he's wrong. And I'm not Donald Trump. I'm basically speaking the facts of mathematics. And of course, I'll take a case, an actual example of a German teenager who produced a few videos for me, and his parents basically wanted him to have nothing more to do with me. And it's obvious that they didn't like my presentations, the way I come across as insulting and angry. However, this isn't a perfect world, and yes, I could be civil all the time if I wanted to, but I don't see why I should. Simply because I want others to know what these people have done, and it's important. It's important to me that the people who watch my channel know where I'm coming from. And certain of them do. There are certain subscribers who know exactly what I'm talking about, and they know that I'm not directing my anger towards them. They know that my vitriol is directed solely at those reptiles who have continuously attacked me over the past decades and who are going to get away, just like Donald Trump is going to get away. Okay, so um, I'm fighting against forces that are far more powerful than I am and who I'm not really going to be able to influence unless other people get on the bandwagon. And now look what's happened. Trump has a substantial amount of supporters, even though he's wrong. Okay. So my reasoning is this: ultimately, those individuals who are secure and those parents who have a reasonable amount of intelligence are going to realize that I'm actually doing them a favor, because ultimately, when their child or their teenager leaves their care, they're going to have to deal with this sort of thing in the real world. Okay. Somebody doesn't go to university and live there for the rest of their lives unless they're basically unable to deal with coping in the real world. So, does that answer your question?
Well, to a large extent, John, but surely all that can be left in the past. Why not speak to those who are your supporters and just ignore the rest? Um, Especially considering that your subscriber base is growing and people are getting the new calculus.
You may have a point there, but when somebody calls me Google posting cunt, Gabriel, it's it's very difficult for these new subscribers to look at what I have to say after they've seen some person write this, okay? And then they think, oh, I don't want to have anything to do with this guy. So if that's the way they think, I probably wouldn't even want them to be watching my videos because they're weak minded, they're insecure individuals. And to be honest, to be frank, I mean, I want to be honest all the time, but to be frank, I don't care about those people because they're not going to go anywhere. I want my subscribers to be reasonably intelligent people who are able to decide for themselves whether somebody is saying somebody is spreading the truth or not. In other words, I don't want my subscribers to simply believe me. I want them to actually investigate what I'm saying, to actually go ahead and say, you know what? Let me look at what this so-called bitter old man is saying. And many have done that, by the way. Lecturers of mathematics have done that. Students have done that. Many people have investigated what I've said, and they've found out that I'm actually saying the right things. But in spite of that, the mainstream still attacks me mercilessly without any consideration for what I've been through, the harm they've caused, and the ultimate price which they're going to pay, which means I'm not going to reveal all my prize knowledge with the world.
Well, thanks, John. Perhaps we could have another session of questions and answers in the future, but for the time being, I guess that's it. Thanks.
Okay, well, I hope I've answered your questions as best as I can. It's very difficult for somebody to understand where I'm coming from and to be in my shoes. It's very easy for others to be judgmental. For example, uh, if a young professor goes to his colleagues and says, "Look at what this guy is saying; it's amazing," they'll turn around and not even address what the content is all about. They'll just refer this young person to videos where I come across as a ranting, bitter, angry old man. That's what they'll do, and so it's obvious what the agenda here is. They don't care about what I have to say. It's me they don't like, and that's pretty much it. Thanks for asking me those few questions, and I hope that my viewers will get a better idea of where I'm coming from and realize that I wasn't always insulting and always angry as I am right now. I still am angry, find it very hard to get rid of my anger. But in any case, thank you for asking those questions, and maybe some time in the future we'll have another session. I'm John Gabriel, and if you're not already a member, please subscribe. Click join on any of my videos to gain access to my members only channel, and tell your friends about it. Follow me on academia.edu, and hopefully I'll be able to chat with you soon. I'm John Gabriel. Once again, this is New Calculus Channel. Goodbye.